Have you ever tried so hard to make everyone happy that you forgot who you were? It's 6:23 a.m., and the first rays of sunlight filter through the kitchen blinds, painting pale stripes across the countertop. The city outside is already alive. Distant horns and the rhythmic whoosh of buses on the avenue just beyond the Quinn family's quiet street. Inside, Mariselle Quinn stands barefoot on cool tiles, her hair hastily pinned up, pajama sleeves dusted with flour. She's moving in a carefully choreographed dance between the stove, the fridge, and the lunchboxes, lined up like tiny soldiers. In the open-plan living room, Jaina's backpack lies unzipped, spilling colored pencils and a crumpled math worksheet. The smell of toasting bread mingles with the faint tang of acrylic paint, that last relic from a painting session weeks ago, the canvas now propped, unfinished, in the corner near Maricelle's modest art desk. Its colors are dulled by a thin film of dust. Her phone buzzes, vibrating in a heap of PTA email notifications and calendar reminders. As she wipes her hands on her apron, she glances at the screen. Lorraine Quinn, reads the caller ID, her mother-in-law, already up, and if history is any indication, likely to be brimming with advice. Mariselle draws a breath, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, and answers. Good morning, Lorraine. On the other end. Mariselle, I just wanted to remind you that I'll be there by 9. Don't forget, I can't have any dairy in my breakfast. And Jaina's recital. Did you RSVP for us? Yes, Lorraine. I'll have everything ready. And yes, I sent the RSVP last night. All right, dear. I know you're busy. See you soon. The call ends. Maricelle's thumb hovers over the phone for a moment, her shoulders rolling forward with a quiet sigh. She checks the time again, 6:29. She still has to get Jaina dressed, finish her lunch, run the dishwasher, and respond to 3 PTA emails about the upcoming bake sale. Her eyes flick to the art corner again, the paint stiffening in their tubes, the sketchbook still open to a half-formed idea. Jaina barrels into the kitchen, hair wild, cheeks flushed from sleep. Mom, I can't find my blue sneakers, and I need to finish my rainforest diorama, Ms. Carter said we have to bring it today. Okay, deep breath, Jaina. Let's find your sneakers first, Mariselle says, kneeling to meet her daughter's bright, anxious eyes. She pushes aside the fatigue and summons a reassuring smile. We've got this! She grabs the bread from the toaster, almost burning her fingers, pops it into Jaina's lunchbox, and scribbles a quick note on a napkin. You're going to do amazing today. Love, Mom. Her handwriting is a little shaky. The phone buzzes again, this time a group chat from the PTA. Who can bring extra juice boxes for the teacher's lounge today? She types, I can pick some up after drop-off, before she can stop herself, then immediately regrets it. She glances toward her art supplies, a silent promise to herself deferred yet again. Terrell appears in the hallway, tie crooked, laptop bag slung over his shoulder. He's tapping out an email on his phone, barely glancing up as he moves through the kitchen. Morning, babe, he says, leaning in for a quick kiss that lands somewhere near her temple. I've got that early meeting, so I'll have to skip breakfast, and I might be late again tonight. Sorry. Quarterly reports. It's okay, Mariselle says, but her voice is thin, stretched. I'll keep dinner warm. He smiles, distracted, then pauses. You okay? You look tired. I'm fine. Just a lot going on with the PTA and your mom is coming by. He squeezes her shoulder, the gesture quick but well-meaning. You're amazing, you know. I don't know how you juggle all this. Before she can answer, he's out the door, car keys jingling, calling, Bye, Jaina, have a great day, over his shoulder. Jaina reappears triumphantly waving her blue sneakers. Found them. Can you help me with the diorama? Mariselle kneels again, gluing tiny paper leaves to a shoebox, her mind already racing ahead. What's for Lorraine's breakfast? Did she reply to Mrs. Patel about the school fundraiser? When was the last time she checked her own calendar for anything that wasn't for someone else? The living room window frames a view of the neighborhood waking up. Joggers passing by, a delivery van idling at the curb, wind ruffling the leaves of the young maples planted along the sidewalk. Across the fence, Priya Desai stands in her own backyard, sipping coffee from a bright yellow mug. She catches Maricelle's eye and waves, her smile easy and genuine. Morning, Mariselle. You look like you're running a marathon over there, Priya calls, laughter in her voice. Mariselle manages a smile. Just another Monday. Want to come over for coffee later? I'd love to. Text me when you're free, or if you need to escape. Priya grins, her tone half joking, half serious. I might take you up on that. Mariselle replies, voice lighter for a moment. Back inside, with Jaina's diorama finished and her daughter finally dressed, Mariselle glances at the clock. 7:12. She hurries Jaina out the door, backpack bouncing, lunchbox clutched tight. The morning air is brisk, scented faintly with cut grass and exhaust. Jaina skips ahead, chattering about her project, and Mariselle listens, nodding, but her mind is elsewhere. Counting the minutes until Lorraine arrives, replaying Terrell's apology about dinner, tallying the invisible weight of everyone's expectations. At the school drop-off, the parking lot is a swarm of parents, minivans, and hurried goodbyes. Mrs. Patel, the PTA president, waves her over. Mariselle! Quick question. Can you coordinate the volunteers for the bake sale next week? You're so organized. Maricelle's smile is automatic, practiced. Of course. I'll send out an email today. As Jaina disappears into the crowd of children, Mariselle feels a pang, a complex mix of pride, relief, and an ache she can't quite name. She lingers for a moment, watching her daughter merge with the river of kids, then turns back toward her car, her phone already buzzing with new requests. She returns home to find Lorraine's car parked at the curb, minutes earlier than promised. Lorraine stands at the door, purse in hand, surveying the front porch with a critical eye. Good morning, Lorraine, Mariselle says, forcing a bright tone. Good morning, dear. I see the recycling bin's still out. You know, the HOA is strict about those things. Shall we go in? I brought some of my herbal tea. It's better for digestion than coffee. Inside, Lorraine settles at the kitchen table, listing the week's family events and offering suggestions that sound suspiciously like instructions. Mariselle prepares oatmeal with almond milk, noting Lorraine's approving nod, the rare sign of satisfaction. Between refilling Lorraine's cup and fielding questions about Jaina's reading level, Maricelle's phone lights up again. Priya texting, "Sending good vibes? Remember to breathe." The message makes Mariselle smile, a small anchor in a sea of obligations. The morning rolls into late afternoon in a blur of chores. Laundry, a quick run to the grocery store, replying to community center emails about the upcoming volunteer day. The house is quiet, but never silent. The hum of the dishwasher, the muted thump of footsteps upstairs, Lorraine's voice drifting down the hall, recounting stories from Terrell's childhood. Midday sunlight slants through the window, illuminating her art supplies once more. Mariselle stands in the doorway, fingers brushing the edge of her sketchbook. She flips it open, hesitates, then closes it again. There's no time. Not today. The living room clock ticks. It's nearly 3 p.m. Jaina will need to be picked up, dinner planned, the PTA spreadsheet updated. Mariselle wipes her hands on her jeans, pausing for a heartbeat to look at her reflection in the hallway mirror. Her eyes are tired, lips pressed into a determined line. She straightens her shoulders, tucks in a stray wisp of hair, and heads out, the cycle beginning again. As the day unwinds, the city glows with sunset, orange and pink bouncing off high-rise windows beyond the neighborhood rooftops. The Quinn house is filled with the clatter of dinner, the hum of television, the scattered laughter of a family holding itself together one day at a time. But inside, Mariselle feels stretched thin, her own needs lost in the noise. She stands at the sink as darkness settles outside, hands submerged in soapy water. The kitchen is empty now, Jaina upstairs with homework, Terrell at his laptop in the den, Lorraine watching a cooking show in the guest room. Mariselle glances again at her art corner, its colors muted in the low light, and wonders, when was the last time she painted something just for herself? She closes her eyes, letting the water run over her hands, and promises herself tomorrow she'll make a little space, just a little, for her own dreams. But as the clock ticks toward midnight, she's still answering PTA emails, prepping breakfast for the next day, and setting out Jaina's clothes. The art supplies remain untouched, waiting like a secret she's almost forgotten. Have you ever felt stretched thin by everyone's expectations? Let us know in the comments below. Maricelle's phone vibrated on the countertop, its dull buzz almost drowned out by the chorus of morning chaos. She pressed the device to her ear with her shoulder while slicing strawberries for Jaina's lunchbox, nodding along as PTA President Andrea rattled off a list of urgent tasks for the upcoming school fundraiser. Yes, I can handle the decorations. Sure, I'll coordinate the bake sale too. Yes, I'll check with the local bakery about donations, Mariselle replied, her voice soft but strained. She glanced at the clock. 7:12 a.m. Jaina was still in her pajamas, dancing around the living room with unmatched socks, singing to her own tune. Terrell's footsteps echoed down the stairs, phone already pressed to his ear, his brow furrowed in early morning work stress. "Hey, babe, can you find my blue tie?" he called out, not looking up from his email. Mariselle wiped her hands on a towel and dashed upstairs, rummaging through the laundry basket. As she handed Terrell the tie, he kissed her cheek absently, muttering, "You're a lifesaver. I'll try to be home before Jaina's bedtime, but there's a server issue. Love you." The front door clicked shut behind him before she could answer. Jaina's voice floated up the stairs. "Mom, I can't find my shoes." Mariselle rushed back down, kneeling to tie Jaina's sneakers and smooth her daughter's wild hair. She forced a smile, her tone gentle. "You'll be late for the bus, honey. Let's go." Outside, the bus rumbled to a stop. Mariselle waved until it turned the corner, her arm heavy in the morning sun. Back inside, she caught sight of her reflection in the microwave. Tired eyes, a rushed ponytail, her art supplies stacked untouched in the corner. She lingered there, fingertips brushing the sketchbook's dusty cover before the phone buzzed again. This time, Lorraine's name flashing across the screen. "Mariselle, dear. Just a reminder, I'll be there for lunch. Remember, no garlic, and please, not too much oil," Lorraine instructed, voice clipped yet familiar. "And don't forget, Jaina has her spelling test today. Have you practiced with her?" "I will, Lorraine. See you around noon," Mariselle replied, fighting the urge to sigh. She glanced at the untouched invitation to her art class. Tonight, 6 p.m., pinned to the fridge beneath Jaina's latest crayon drawing, her own plans gently fading into the background. The midday sun was rising higher as Mariselle hurried through the supermarket aisles, purse slung across her shoulder, her list already smudged. She double-checked Lorraine's dietary needs, mentally rehearsed Jaina's spelling words, and in the next breath, called the community center to confirm volunteer shifts for the fundraiser. At checkout, her friend Priya appeared, pushing a cart piled with groceries and smiling warmly. Priya's dark hair was swept back, sunglasses perched atop her head. She noticed Maricelle's hurried movements and the tight set of her lips. "Hey, you look like you're running a marathon, not shopping for lunch," Priya teased softly. Mariselle mustered a laugh, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. "It's just a busy week. Lorraine's coming over, Jaina's got a test, and the PTA fundraiser." She paused, biting her lip. "I keep thinking I can handle it all, but..." Priya's tone grew gentle. "Have you even thought about saying no, or, I don't know, taking an hour for yourself? You missed art class last week, didn't you?" Guilt prickled at Maricelle's heart. "I had to help Jaina with her project, and Terrell's been so swamped at work. I can't let things fall apart." Priya reached over, squeezing Maricelle's hand. "You're not letting anything fall apart. But you can't pour from an empty cup." Before Mariselle could reply, her phone chimed, a text from the PTA. "Can you pick up extra tablecloths for the event?" She exhaled, forcing a smile for Priya. "Duty calls." As she left the store, Priya called after her. "I mean it, Mariselle. Take care of you too." Back home, the kitchen was full of sunlight and the scent of roasting tomatoes. Lorraine's arrival was announced by the sharp click of heels on the front porch. Mariselle welcomed her inside, trying to ignore the fluttering in her stomach. Lorraine set her purse down, surveying the kitchen with her usual discerning eye. "You look tired, Mariselle. Are you getting enough sleep? The house is a bit cluttered today." Mariselle bristled, smoothing her apron. "It's just been busy. I'm organizing a fundraiser, and Jaina..." Lorraine interrupted, her tone well-meaning but critical. "I do worry. Children need routine, healthy meals, and you should really take better care of yourself. Terrell works so hard." Mariselle smiled tightly, serving lunch in silence. She barely tasted the food, her mind spinning with lists and worries. That evening, Jaina was unusually restless, tossing her backpack aside and slumping onto the sofa, eyes narrowed. "Did you remember my spelling words, Mom?" Jaina asked, her tone edged with frustration. "I did, sweetheart. Let's practice now," Mariselle replied, setting aside the PTA paperwork. But halfway through the list, Jaina burst out, "You always have to do other stuff. You never listen." The words stung. Mariselle closed her eyes, willing herself not to cry. "I'm sorry, Jaina. I'm trying my best." Jaina crossed her arms, pouting. "You never come to art with me anymore. You said you would." A pang of guilt struck deep. Mariselle reached for her daughter, but Jaina turned away, retreating to her room and slamming the door. Night fell, cloaking the city in a hush, broken only by distant sirens and the hum of passing cars. Terrell arrived late, setting his briefcase down with a weary sigh. "Long day?" Mariselle asked quietly. "Yeah, sorry I missed dinner again. The project's a mess," he said, loosening his tie, eyes glued to his phone. "Thanks for handling everything here." He disappeared into the home office, the door clicking behind him. Mariselle stood in the hallway, alone with the silence, her own needs shrinking to a whisper. Later, after everyone was asleep, she sat at her art corner in the dim light. Sketchbook open, pencils arranged neatly, she tried to draw a landscape, a memory, anything. But her hand hovered above the page, blank. Her mind wandered to the day's sharp words, the endless lists, the sense of slipping further from herself. Her phone buzzed again, an email from Andrea, subject line: "Urgent volunteer shifts." Mariselle closed the sketchbook, staring at her reflection in the dark window. The next morning brought only more tasks, more demands. The fundraiser needed new flyers, Lorraine wanted to change her lunch plans, and Jana's teacher emailed about a missed permission slip. Mariselle scribbled notes on the back of an envelope, her handwriting growing frantic. As she left the house, Priya caught her at the mailbox, concern etched across her face. "You're running on fumes, Mariselle. Please, just for once, let someone else handle things. You missed our coffee date again yesterday." Maricelle's eyes filled with tears. She blinked back. "I'm sorry, Priya. I can't let anyone down. What if things fall apart?" Priya hugged her, firm but kind. "You matter too. Let someone be there for you. Promise me you'll try." Inside, Mariselle found Jana's crayon drawing on her pillow. A picture of their family, Mariselle in the center, arms wide, holding everyone together. The drawing was sweet, but the figure at its heart looked tired, almost faded. She traced the lines with her finger, her chest aching. For the first time, she wondered, how much longer can I keep this up? Is there a way to make everyone happy without losing myself? If you're feeling Maricelle's struggle, you won't want to miss what happens next. Don't forget to subscribe for the next chapter, and let us know your thoughts below. Have you ever felt pulled in every direction, just trying to keep it all together? Your story matters too. The city moved with its usual weekday pulse, cars threading through narrow lanes, the buzz of distant lawnmowers, a neighbor's dog barking at passing joggers. But inside the Quinn house, the morning felt compressed, as if every minute threatened to burst with undone tasks. Maricelle's phone vibrated on the kitchen counter, its screen lighting up with a string of reminders. PTA, confirm volunteer shifts. Lorraine, gluten-free lunch. Jana, art show, 5:30 p.m. She closed her eyes for a moment, pressing her palms into the cold marble, but the world pressed back. Behind her, Jana's voice rose in a whine. She couldn't find her favorite purple marker. Terrell, already in his work shirt but still barefoot, called from the hallway, "Mar, have you seen my car keys?" She found the keys right where he'd left them under the stack of unopened mail and handed them off as he swept past, pecking her on the cheek, already half gone. "I'll try to be home by dinner time, okay?" She smiled, small and fixed. "Have a good day." Jana tugged at her sleeve, eyes wide. "Don't forget my art show tonight, Mama, you promised." "Of course, baby. I wouldn't miss it for the world." But the world, she realized, was exactly what she was up against. The morning blurred into afternoon, each hour marked by new obligations. Mariselle loaded the car with boxes for the school fundraiser, cupcakes for the bake sale, hand-painted signs she'd made at midnight, extra juice boxes for the kids. The kitchen was a disaster. Crumbs, drying dishes, her phone buzzing with Lorraine's latest dietary restriction. "No dairy, Mariselle. I read an article. You know how my stomach gets." Driving to the school, Mariselle rehearsed her to-do list aloud, her voice brittle in the empty car. She was running late, of course. Jana's art show was at 5:30 and the fundraiser started at 5. "I'll set up fast. Maybe I can sneak away for Jana's exhibit. Maybe Lorraine can help?" But as she pulled into the school parking lot, Lorraine was already waiting at the curb, arms folded, lips tight. "You're late, Mariselle. The other parents are already inside." Mariselle forced a smile, pushing down the familiar ripple of inadequacy. "I had to finish the flyers for the silent auction. I brought the gluten-free cookies you asked for." Lorraine took the box, peering inside. "Did you remember to check the ingredients, dear? You know how labels can be misleading. Inside, the gym was a flurry of color and noise. Balloons, folding tables, PTA parents corralling their children. Mariselle set up the bake sale, fielding questions, giving directions, checking her watch every few minutes. She caught glimpses of Jaina across the hallway, clustered with classmates near the art display, her face shining with anticipation. 5 o'clock came and went. Lorraine darted around the bake sale table, correcting the way Mariselle arranged the cupcakes, whispering critiques. You know, if you'd just asked for help, we wouldn't be so behind. You really try to do everything yourself, don't you? Maricelle's jaw tightened. I just wanted things to go smoothly. Lorraine leaned closer, lowering her voice, but not her intensity. You know, Terrell's been looking tired lately. Do you really think you're supporting him enough? And Jaina, she's been so restless. Maybe she needs more structure at home. A flush crept up Maricelle's neck. She opened her mouth, but the words tangled. I'm doing my best, Lorraine. Lorraine shook her head, sighing. Sometimes your best isn't enough. You need to prioritize the family, not all these extra commitments. The words landed like stones. Mariselle blinked hard, fighting the blur that threatened her vision. Around her, the fundraiser whirred on. Kids laughing, parents chatting, someone calling for more napkins. She checked the gym clock. 5:40. Jaina's art show. She looked for her daughter, but Jaina was gone from the hallway. Panic flickered. Suddenly, Priya appeared at her side, eyes sharp with concern. Mariselle, are you okay? You look pale. I forgot Jaina's art show. I was supposed to be there. Priya squeezed her arm. It's not too late. Go. I'll cover here. Across the gym, Terrell entered, phone in hand, brow furrowed. Hey, did you see Jaina? Her teacher said she was looking for you. Maricelle's breath caught. She was waiting for me. I lost track of time. Lorraine cut in, voice rising. This is what I'm talking about. You're always distracted, always overcommitted. You need to focus on your family, Mariselle, not these school projects or volunteering for everyone else. Her words echoed, impossibly loud. Mariselle felt the eyes of other parents drifting their way, curious, sympathetic, or maybe just entertained by the drama. Something inside her snapped, not with anger, but with exhaustion. She turned to Terrell. I'm trying. I'm really trying, but it's never enough. For anyone. I can't. Her voice broke. I can't keep up. Terrell stared at her, the reality of her distress finally registering. He set his phone down. Mariselle, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was this bad. Lorraine pressed on, relentless. You're the mother, Mariselle. You're supposed to set the tone for the family. If you can't handle it. Priya stepped between them, gentle but firm. Lorraine, give her some space. She needs a moment. Lorraine huffed, but Priya guided Mariselle out of the gym and into the quiet hallway, away from the fluorescent lights and the mounting pressure. Maricelle's hands shook as she leaned against the cool wall outside the multi-purpose room. She could hear the muffled sounds of laughter and music from the fundraiser, but out here, everything felt distant. Priya put a gentle hand on her shoulder. You don't have to do this all alone, you know. Mariselle pressed her palms to her face, tears sliding between her fingers. I missed Jaina's show. I promised her. I just wanted to make everything perfect for everyone. And now... Priya squeezed her hand. Mariselle, listen to me. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup. You're allowed to need things too. The words hung between them, gentle and true. Mariselle let herself cry, really cry, for the first time in months. The pressure, the guilt, the endless lists and invisible labor, it all crashed through her. She felt raw, exposed, and at last, honest. Priya handed her a tissue, eyes kind. Go find Jaina. Tell her the truth. Kids are more forgiving than we think. Mariselle nodded, wiping her cheeks, shaky but resolute. She walked quickly through the school corridors, searching for her daughter. She found Jaina sitting alone on a bench near the art display, her small hands twisting the hem of her dress, eyes puffy and red. Mariselle sat beside her, taking a deep, shuddering breath. Jaina, I'm so sorry I missed your art show. I promised, and I broke that promise. I was trying to help everyone else, and I let you down. Jaina sniffled, silent for a moment. Then she looked up, her eyes searching her mother's. Did you see my painting at least? Mariselle shook her head, tears brimming again. Not yet. Can you show me now? Jaina's face softened. She took Maricelle's hand and led her to the display, pointing proudly at a bright, swirling painting of a family in a colorful garden. In the corner, a small figure painted in purple, alone, but surrounded by vibrant colors. "That's you, Mama," Jaina whispered. "You always make everyone happy." Mariselle knelt to eye level, her voice trembling. "But I want to be happy too, Jaina. I need to remember who I am, not just what I do for everyone else." Jaina smiled, hugging her tightly. "I love you, Mama, even if you're not everywhere all the time." The weight in Maricelle's chest eased, just a little. She looked around. The art, the kids, the noise of the fundraiser still humming in the background. But here, with Jaina's arms around her, everything else fell away. Back in the gym, Terrell found them. He looked at his wife, really seeing her for the first time in months, the exhaustion in her eyes, the way her shoulders slumped. He crouched beside them, voice soft. "I'm sorry, Mar. I should have seen how much you were carrying. I want to do better. We'll figure this out together." Lorraine lingered in the doorway, her critical expression faltering as she watched the three of them. For a moment, she seemed about to speak, but instead she turned away, her posture uncertain. Priya, standing quietly at the edge of the display, caught Maricelle's gaze and nodded. Proud, supportive. Mariselle exhaled, feeling the first fragile threads of hope. The payout was not that everything was fixed, but that at last she was seen. Her confession, to Jaina, to herself, was the turning point. She didn't need to lose herself for her family to be happy. She just needed to remember that her own happiness mattered too. For the first time in a long while, Mariselle allowed herself to believe it. The city's afternoon light is softer now, slipping gently through the living room windows as Mariselle sits on the edge of her couch, hands wrapped around a mug turned cold long ago. The echoes of the school fundraiser, the clatter, the bright voices, Lorraine's pointed words, still ring in her ears. Jaina's artwork, which she'd missed, flashes in her mind. It isn't just the disappointment in her daughter's eyes that stings, but the hollow ache of realizing how many quiet pieces of herself she's packed away for the sake of everyone else. Terrell's keys jingle at the door, and Mariselle startles, drawing in a shaky breath. He enters, his suit jacket rumpled, eyes searching. He hesitates, then sits across from her. There's no TV on, no phone in his hand. For once, he's fully present. "Hey," he says, voice low. I should have noticed sooner. Priya called me after the event. She said you needed space. I'm sorry, Mariselle." She looks at him, the words she's practiced so many times trembling on her lips. "I can't keep doing this, Terrell. I'm running on empty. I miss Jaina's art show. I'm exhausted all the time, and I don't even remember the last time I painted for myself." He nods, guilt softening the lines of his face. "I keep telling myself I'm working to help the family, but I haven't really been here, have I?" He takes her hands in his. "We need to do better. Together." She closes her eyes as relief, mingled with uncertainty, washes over her. For the first time in months, there's a space for honesty in the room. Later that evening, when Jaina returns from her friend's house, Mariselle kneels to her daughter's height, her voice gentle but unwavering. "Jaina, I'm so sorry I missed your art show. I let too many things pile up, and I forgot something really important to you." Jaina's lips tremble. "It's okay, Mommy." "No," Mariselle says softly, brushing a strand of hair from her daughter's face. "It's not. But I want to do better. Can you show me your artwork now? Just us?" Jaina's eyes light up, and she races to her backpack, returning with a slightly wrinkled painting, a field of wildflowers under a bright blue sky. Maricelle's heart twists with pride and regret, but she lets herself sink into the moment, studying every brushstroke, asking questions, praising the colors. For the first time in a long time, she's not thinking about the next task or the next expectation, just the joy flickering in her daughter's eyes. After Jaina heads to bed, Terrell and Mariselle sit together at the kitchen table. The counters are cluttered with signs of life. PTA flyers, Jaina's forgotten water bottle, an empty mug with a smear of blue paint on the rim. Terrell leans forward, elbows on the table. "We need to make changes," he says. "Real ones, not promises that fade in a week." Mariselle nods, her resolve growing. "I need time for myself, to paint, to breathe, and you and Jaina need to help more around here." I can't be everything for everyone. He smiles, a weary but genuine curve of his lips. Deal. How about we make a real schedule? Family time, chores, your painting night. And maybe I'll finally show up to a PTA meeting. She laughs, a real surprised sound. The tension in her shoulders eases a little. The next day, Mariselle calls Priya, her voice steadier than it's been in weeks. You were right, she admits. I can't keep pouring from an empty cup. Want to get coffee? Just us? Priya's laughter through the phone is warm and immediate. Only if you bring your sketchbook. That afternoon, at the neighborhood coffee shop, Mariselle sits in the sunlit corner, the hum of conversation around her a gentle backdrop. She opens her sketchbook, fingers hesitating before gliding over the paper. The pencil feels strange and familiar all at once. For the first time in ages, she lets the lines flow, not caring if they're perfect, just letting them be hers. Priya watches with a proud smile. You look lighter, she says. Mariselle pauses, considering. I feel lighter, she admits, even if I'm scared it won't last. But I know now, I have to keep a piece of myself for me. Otherwise, I have nothing real to give anyone else. The next weekend, the Quinns gather around the dining table. Jane is in charge of pancakes, Terrell is manning the coffee machine, and Lorraine, after a quiet, heartfelt conversation with Mariselle about boundaries and expectations, sits at the table, folding napkins. The air is different, lighter, more forgiving. Lorraine clears her throat. Mariselle, I know I can be a bit much sometimes. I only want what's best for the family. But I see now, you have to have space for yourself, too. Let me know how I can help, not just how you can help me. Mariselle smiles, gratitude blooming. Thank you, Lorraine. Maybe we can all help each other. After breakfast, Mariselle retreats to her art corner. The sunlight pools across her desk, illuminating the canvas she'd abandoned months before. She sits, picks up her brush, and begins to paint, bold, messy strokes that spill across the page. She loses herself in the colors, the motion, the sense of possibility. Jaina wanders in, peering over her shoulder. Can I paint with you, Mommy? Mariselle grins, pulling up a chair. Absolutely. Let's make something together. As their laughter and the swish of brushes fill the room, Mariselle realizes she hasn't lost herself at all. She's been here all along, buried beneath the layers of expectation and self-sacrifice. By choosing herself, just a little, just enough, she finds she has more to give, not less. The days that follow aren't perfect. There are still PTA meetings and deadlines, messy kitchens and moments of doubt. But now, there's also space for Maricelle's art, her friendships, and her voice. She learns to say no, to extra tasks, to guilt, to the silent pressure that once whispered she was only as good as the happiness of those around her. She learns to say yes, too, to help when she needs it, to imperfect dinners, to spontaneous painting sessions with Jaina, to quiet evenings with Terrell where they simply talk, not about chores or schedules, but about dreams. One evening, as dusk settles and the city outside glimmers with the first hints of starlight, Mariselle writes a note in her journal. I am not just what I do for others. I am not just a wife, a mother, a volunteer, or a daughter-in-law. I am Mariselle, and that is enough. If you've ever felt like you were vanishing beneath the weight of everyone's expectations, remember, your happiness matters too. It's not selfish to take up space in your own life. In fact, it's the only way to truly show up for those you love. Did Maricelle's story resonate with you? Have you ever lost track of yourself trying to keep everyone happy? Share your experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. If you found a little hope or inspiration here, give this video a like, subscribe for more real-life journeys, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new chapter. Your story matters too. Thank you for being here.